All right, a little bit different than the usual intro. For these next sets of heats, we had a bit of an open mic on the Discord channel where four different commentators basically were all able to share their views on ships and commentate as the matches went on. Hope you enjoy it. So next up, we have the SheChonk'Int, which is actually a play on Daggerfall. The first dungeon you go to is basically She Dungeon, but spelled weird, Shedungant. So I thought that was kind of funny when I started seeing the shape that I was building.
Hmm.
Here we are.
Yeah, this kind of brings back some memories of the Steaming Pile of Ship tournament.
Was it just basically the weirdest stuff you could
No, Steaming Pile of Ship was Dreadnaught era, except rail guns weren't allowed. You could do crams. You could do unguided torpedoes. And also heavy armor was banned.
That's fair. Although armor in this game is a weird topic to begin with, isn't it? Starting with 1 meter thick as the default.
As many videos on armoring that I've seen, yeah.
Don't look inside the SheChonk'Int. So we've got the... I'm going to let you pronounce it, actually, since you're in the call.
Sjomans Kista.
That is
okay, then.
So much better than I could do. I'm sorry for butchering it in the first video, by the way.
No, I understand.
It has a CSS Virginia kind of vibe to it.
A little bit, yeah. I really love the aesthetic of it. There were so many ironclads that basically went for exactly this: just mount a bunch of cannons, layer everything above the waterline in metal, and just go at it. Like the ironclads, it's got such a cool classic aesthetic to it. I also love the way it moves. It just kind of slowly snakes back and forth a little bit. Just fantastic. And then this one I just kind of breezed over because it was mine, and I would have felt awkward going really in depth on all the stupid little details and stuff on it.
Oh yeah, you got a lot of data packed into that thing too.
It's yeah, I had a little bit of fun with it. It's definitely the era of guns are armor, where I have wing turrets basically just meant to be sacrificed for their extremely volume efficient health and armor. You can't get as much health and armor as one of these little casemates has stacking metal. You just can't. They have more. So how do you protect your guns? Put guns in front of them. Otherwise, it's just kind of inspired by that weird in-between stage where people really didn't know what they were doing at all. Lots of different layers to the deck.
That's kind of how it was back then with warships. People were not sure at all where the hell to put the guns on those silly things.
Oh yeah, no, it's poking fun at basically every weird little. It's asymmetric as heck too. It's got tons of different lines of asymmetry. It's just making fun of as many of the weird little quirks I could find all at once.
Cambrian era of shits.
Exactly. I like that. I like that a lot. Got a bunch of different little cranes and loading things. Yeah. Nasty armaments on it.
Are the casemates actually better armor than heavy armor, or is it just because you can't use heavy
armor? But they are better than metal.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Heavy armor is better than basically any of the casemates, just because it has so much armor that it makes up for the health. I think they're basically the same armor value as metal, but they have as much health as... So there's basically, if you talk to people like Belkant and stuff like that, there's a debate as to whether or not the 9-meter drill heads are some of the best armor in the game, because when you're dealing with APS, the more health something hits, the better the armor is. And it doesn't matter if it's not volume efficient. All that matters is that it doesn't get through when it does hit there, right? So, yeah, it's weird. It's people also like to use the grills like for aircraft for that reason, because it will stop more shells from getting through for longer if they're only hitting it once or twice, which is kind of, when you're dealing with railguns of a certain size.
I think it should be mentioned that those 130 millimeter casemates, they have an armor of 50, whereas metal has an armor of 40, I believe.
They have more armor. Wow, they're 10 behind heavy armor. Thanks for the correction.
Also, they have a pretty good amount of health of 4,500.
Yup.
Yeah.
And 2 metal beams is only like 32, I think.
So, yeah, you need something fairly punchy to be able to knock one of those out in one shot.
And on top of that, they're inert. They don't explode. So, I mean, they're just...
Which is a very nice quality to them.
Exactly. They're like, I looked at them and I was like, this is the most volume efficient firepower. I have a lot of material to spend through, and they're also better armor than metal. Why would I not use these?
I like them a lot too, because I like to build a lot of Dreadnaught era stuff.
Oh,
and those things are just plastered with casemates.
They are. I love the look. I think aesthetically, it's one of the best things From the Depths has. I think that those as simple weapons, they look great, and the way you can build them into your hull, and just work around them, fantastic. Like, okay, this is probably focusing a little bit too much on it, but these, the AI is actually all the way behind them, so they can't really end up AI dead until the casemate in front of it is dead. And also, I said I wouldn't show you the inside, but yeah, no, the armor scheme is perfect and realistic and beautiful. All right, do we want to go ahead and see how things turn out?
Let's do it.
I'm quite nervous.
Me too, because you have a nasty broadside. Oh, that was a lot of bounces, though.
Yeah, my thing is not really designed to fight. I primarily designed it to fight the Norge and Victoria, so...
Ah, boy, I bet
Not
it
quite
beats
the
the
target.
heck out of those ships. So, mine has multiple AI behaviors and ACBs to control them. It, as we saw when it was fighting Mephistopheles' ship, it likes to close in real close so that the unguided rockets can hit like that, and then it pulls back
Thunderhead
out
rockets
again.
are nasty too.
Oh, they're all frag, baby. In fact,
you didn't go with the
they
Thumperheads?
burrowed straight through.
You didn't go with Thumperheads?
No, I went pure
Okay.
frag.
Okay.
I
I would have done it
banned.
just for the extra speed myself. I'm sorry, what was that, Fish? I didn't mean to talk over you there.
I thought frag was banned.
So frag was banned in APS and on crams, but it was not banned on missiles.
And missiles are okay, so as long as they're unguided, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Matt, I think there was a few more stipulations to that, but I can't remember them off the top of my head.
I know I built mine and had it finished based on your rule set. And I know that when I transferred things over and made the updated version, I actually left out and forgot some things. So I'm kind of not... Oh my god, those frag rockets. Jeez. That was a nasty hit. So I'm kind of not holding people to like a terribly high standard that I myself couldn't manage with the rule set, if that makes sense.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, if I screwed up on the rule set and getting things translated, I'm not gonna hold people at fault for that, My bad, in other words. Yikes. Yeah. That's a lot of firepower.
Gotta admit, got some pretty good volleys off there earlier.
Yes, it did. I was actually really scared that I would lose a lot of firepower early on from how many crams are packed into this thing.
Yeah, if there's a small angle to the metal, it just bounces.
That's why I went with thump heads on top of all of my crams. Even though it hurts their DPS a lot, I didn't want them to bounce. So I went hollow point HE, even though it's like
Makes
one of
sense.
the worst. It's like one of the worst armament combinations in like normal gameplay and From the Depths, but in this case,
Ooh, there goes the turret.
yeah, I think that's all the firepower.
Yeah.
Yeah, the SheChonk'Int's kind of a cheesy build though, just in general. Oh man, those rocket hits were nasty.
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry. It's the audio delay.
Oh, so I generally find that the Sjomans Kista has a very big weakness of APHE.
Yes.